Rendang is the ultimate flavor bomb. It is a very concentrated curry and it tastes amazing and super rich and has a coconutty taste. So if you like coconut, you should try it. Let's go to a kitchen. I'll show you how to make it.
Let's go!
Forewarning, making rendang is a very time-intensive process. Make sure you have a few hours before starting this. To get started, get some hot water and let your dried chilies soak in it while you prepare other ingredients. This will help them soften up in time to grind into a paste with the rest of the ingredients. I used about 20 chilies, but I wish I used a bit more to make it spicier. Next, get about a tablespoon of fennel seeds, 8 cloves, and a handful of cardamom pods. Break it open, then mix the cardamom seeds with the fennel and cloves. Then put them in a bowl to be toasted later. Next, get about a thumb of ginger and a thumb and a half of galangal and chop it into small pieces. A small bulb of garlic and peel the skin off each clove. 2 small shallots, lightly chopped, and 1 lemongrass. Take off the outer layer by slamming it on the table and peeling it off. Then cut it into really small slices. This is important as lemongrass is extremely fibrous and this will help it in breaking it down when you mash it later. Place these in a separate bowl as you will be using the ingredients in this bowl to make a curry paste. The cut of the beef really shouldn't matter as much since you'll be cooking it for a really long time, but you preferably want something with a decent amount of fat on it. Short rib is one of the better options if you're willing to pay the price. It is what I would usually go for when I cook for other people. I used about 2 pounds of beef short rib here, and this should be enough for around 3 Alvin portions. Cut your meat and leave it in a size just big enough to not break apart when it simmers. Place it in a large bowl and put it in the fridge while we prepare the curry paste. Now, toast a bowl of fennel seeds, cloves, and cardamom until it's lightly brown and fragrant. This will help in bringing out the flavors when you cook it later. If you're gonna do this, make sure you put something under your mortar and pestle, or else you'll destroy your floors. To make the curry paste, start with the dry spices. I forgot about them until about a minute in, so don't be like me. After you grind your dry spices, mash the lemongrass first as it takes the longest to break down.
A few minutes later.
After the lemongrass is broken down by a decent amount, you can slowly incorporate the rest of the spices instead of doing it all together to avoid making a mess. This process could take a while, so play something in the background while you do this.
20 minutes later.
After you're done, cut your chilies before grinding them. Unless you want this to happen. The chilies have some liquid inside them from soaking in hot water, so make sure to drain it and rinse it in cold water before cutting them. Then continue to mash the chilies until it becomes fully incorporated into the paste.
5 minutes later.
After you're done, add 2 tablespoons of tamarind paste, 1/4 tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of sugar. You can adjust the salt levels after you cook the rendang all the way through. Because the rendang will condense, the flavors might be more intense than what you expect. After you're done mashing the paste, it's time to marinate the beef. If you have gloves, I would advise wearing some here as they will get under your fingernails. Also, I had a cut on my hand while making this, so it burnt a lot when I was trying to mix it in. Let it sit in the fridge for around 30 minutes to take in some of the flavors. This step might be optional since the simmering process will take a really long time. While it's marinating, it's time to get 4 cans of coconut milk, 400 mils each, and place it in a bowl. I know I used 3 here, but I'll add a 4th one later because I realized it's not enough. Last step before cooking everything, it's time to prepare the powdered spices. Get about a tablespoon of garam masala, 1/4 tablespoon of turmeric powder, a tablespoon of chili powder, 1/4 tablespoon of cumin, and 1/2 tablespoon of coriander. Now, it's time to assemble. Pour some oil into your pot and fry your powdered spices. Then throw in 2 sticks of cinnamon and a few star anise. Then throw in your meat and fry it for about 2 minutes. We'll begin the simmering process by pouring the coconut milk into the pot and stirring it until it's fully mixed in. Place it in between low and medium heat and simmer it for a really long time. Just make sure to stir it every 10 minutes or so. You can add a lid to control the rate of evaporation.
Forgot to record this, but put some pandan leaves in there.
After about an hour and a half of doing this, I got really hungry and decided to stop the cooking process here. The end result was really good, but I didn't have the right consistency for rendang. I continued this process the next day with a smaller pot. While it was simmering, I decided to pick out the bones and star anise. The longer the curry cooks, the more oil and fats from the meat and coconut milk will separate from the curry. This is just my preference, but I prefer to take out some of the oil by soaking the surface with paper towels. Just do this until your desired amount of oiliness. Just know that rendang is supposed to be decently oily. At this point, heat control is very important. Just make sure to keep it low enough to not burn it and stir it often enough to maintain the same consistency throughout while keeping the bottom from burning. From where I was on the second day, it took me about 45 minutes to get to my desired consistency. Rendang should mostly be separated from the oil, and the coconut milk curry should have a brown caramelized look to it. If you happen to have some leftover rendang, you can use it for nasi goreng. Just fry it over with leftover rice.
I already tasted this while I was cooking, so I already know it's pretty good. Not to mean to brag, but pretty nice. Good job, Alvin. Good job.
Okay, so you just saw me make it, and I did kind of mess up by not simmering it down all the way, but then going back to simmer it the next day. If you can avoid that and just condense it down all the way, I can guarantee you the taste is a lot better than if you were to just simmer it halfway like I did. So after seeing all that, I hope that you're not as apprehensive about cooking curry as I did when I first started cooking. It's really great. Curry tastes good. I recommend people to try it. So yeah. Bye.